Hey there, Patriots. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you with another one. Um, I was sent this music video by one of my subscribers to do a reaction on it. There's a little backstory to this, so I'll get to it quickly so we can play it. This song that I'm going to be doing a reaction on is called Patriot Mine, and it's by three guys. One's a firefighter, one's a Marine, and one's a cop. Their names are Shafer, the Marine rapper, and Forensic. This song came out 6 days ago, but for some odd reason, iTunes and Amazon wouldn't play it, I guess, so they couldn't chart. Funny thing is, they also did the same thing to Loza Alexander, and if anybody watches my content, then they would know who that is. But that's okay, because we're gonna play it on here on YouTube. Because YouTube gives us that freedom, and it just seems like more and more patriotic people that are putting out music, it's like a lot of platforms are trying to suppress that, and I find that very disheartening because, when the powers that be want patriots of this country, to bleed for their cause, they have no problem calling them up, but when it's time for them to have a voice, they also have no problem trying to shut them down. Well, not today. I'm going to do a reaction on this song and leave it up to everybody else to decide. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and all that. So before I continue, right quickly again, I want to thank all my new subscribers and all my subscribers, both on here on YouTube and on Rumble. So don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe. I'll also be leaving a link for this video to their channel, for this song, so you guys can go and show them some love. And if you want to help support my channel, I'll leave a link in my description to my Cash App and PayPal, and also to my merch store, True Outlaw Patriot. Shirts are selling fast, so don't forget to get yours. As soon as I get these out, then I'll get some more in different colors and the new design, which I personally am in love with the new design, and to me it's going to be dedicated to the military and to the everyday American patriot. So that design, in my opinion, is pretty badass. But without further ado, let's jump right into this. This is called Patriot Mind. It's by Shafer, the Marine rapper, and Forensic. Here we go.
Yeah. Motivated by the brake lights. My intention was to help life. Red or blue, but my soul's mine. I ain't perfect, but I do try. Every move I make to watch life. I'm a trip, I'm seeing all lights. Time to change it, but I still fight. Good enough, Patriot mind. That's true. A lot of these guys, when they go out, whether you're a cop, a firefighter, or a soldier, doesn't matter if you're man or woman, regardless of what has happened, and regardless of, some people may say, well, there's bad apples. There's bad apples in all throughout society, and not just here in America, but around the world. But we can't forget the ones that are good and go into this with a steady mind and an open heart to help others, regardless of what the media puts out, regardless of how people try to paint a lot of the civil service workers the wrong way. You have to understand, just like in anybody's family, there's always a bad apple. So we can't just go pointing the finger and judging everybody, lest we forget and get judged first. But let's continue.
I signed a paper and raised my hand up. Went to the sand with the guns in the ground.
I'm gonna go back on this. I apologize. I want to hear what he has to say.
When Uncle Sam asked for fathers who young, I signed a paper and raised my hand up. Went to the sand with the guns and the grunts. Fought for my lady named America. When I came back.
Well, look at that. I like what he said. Fought for my lady named America. Two quick little stories. I like this verse right here because there's a lot of people right now in this country, especially with all the protests that are going on, where they're ripping down the American flag. And that's one thing that, I've always respected the fact of people's freedom of speech. The one thing I can never understand since I was a kid is I mean, now that I'm older, I understand. But when I was younger, I could never understand when I would see people burning the American flag. As I'm older, now I understand that only ignorant people will burn the American flag. And I say that because you have people that are born and raised here, or people that come here trying to migrate here. And when they have a gripe, they want to burn the American flag. But they're not understanding that that American flag does not represent the government alone. That American flag represents the people, and the people first. So people need to do their history and understand that every time you spit or tear down or burn an American flag, you're doing that to the people, not the ones you're upset at. Okay? And for the life of me, it's like it just goes on and on and on. But if you say something, you get vilified. Okay? The second quick thing, when he said he raised his hand and he went to join the military, I remember when I turned 16 years old. Okay? A friend of mine and two of his buddies, I was walking down the street, and I remember it was on my 16th birthday. And it would just so happen that two of them out of the three, their birthday was a week before, and my buddy's birthday was like 2 weeks before. And I had asked them, I said, where we go? Where you guys going? They were like, come on. And we all walked to the post office, and we all signed up for our selective service cards. And here's the funny thing. The other three guys I'm talking about, they were black. Okay? And my boy's father was retired military, and he was a state trooper. And he taught him the American values. It didn't matter what color. Okay? And this was back home in the Bronx. Okay? There was a lot of patriotism back then. But let's continue.
I got plenty of love. Ladies would kiss me and homies would hug. Until I told them I voted for Trump. Then they said Biden and shoulders were shrugged.
Wow, check that out. He said, this is crazy. I'll go back just a little bit.
Ladies would kiss me and homies would hug.
Go back.
In the grunts, fought for my lady named America. When I came back, I got plenty of love. Ladies would kiss me and homies would hug.
He said, when I came back, I got plenty of love. Ladies would kiss me and homies would hug.
Until I told him I voted for Trump. Then they said Biden and shoulders were shrugged.
Until he told him he voted for Trump, and then they said they voted for Biden, and then they would shrug their shoulders. And you know what? This is what's going on right now. So the left has so many people fighting against each other. Obama said that he was going to be, the president that brought people together. That turned out to be a load because he divided the country. Trump tried to bring people together, and even now, Trump puts out speeches talking about how great it would be if Republicans and Democrats, if both sides could get along, how much more great this country could be. And now Biden's here, and he's dividing the country again. Okay? And they don't want us to be united. They want us to be divided. Okay? And it's called divide and conquer. You divide as many groups, as many people as you can, and then you conquer every little group that you can. But if we were all to stand together, okay, no nation and no government and nobody can hold us down. But let's continue.
Then I said, why then? I thought that was why I was fighting the violence overseas. Females are dying if they even trying to open the book and go and read. All the males dying for freedom.
Well, I just caught that. He said, I think this has to do with the Middle East. He said, I thought
that was why I was fighting the violence overseas.
I was fighting the violence overseas.
Females are dying if they even trying to open the book and go and
Females are dying if they even trying to open the book and go and read. This has to be about what's going on in the Middle East. And a lot of the Muslim culture, it's like women have no rights. Okay, they can't go to school, they can't read. I mean, in other words, they're not supposed to be smart. Okay, and this is not a dig at the Muslim population. Okay, that's a cultural thing. But yeah, you have Americans going out there and fighting for their right to do that. But when they get home, okay, these American men and women, these soldiers, they get spit on. Okay, and the same thing happened in Vietnam. Lest people forget, you do your history. American soldiers went out there, and we can argue all day why that war happened. Okay. But you can't go after the soldiers that went and they were trying to free people. And then when they came back home, they were spit on, they were attacked. But yet people forgot who they went and saved. Okay? Who they went and freed. But let's continue.
read. All the males dying for freedom, they clinging on planes cause the states where they'd rather be.
Yeah, it's this right here. You know, he says all the males dying for freedom. Okay, and they're clinging on planes. That was the debacle in Afghanistan. Okay, all these people, when Biden went and pulled the troops out of Afghanistan, all these men, all right, and the videos out there, they're all running, clinging onto the planes, okay, to get away because they wanted freedom. But where are the men and where are the women and children? These men turned their backs on their own women and children, and we flew their asses here, gave them sanctuary, but where are their women and children? Whereas the American men leave their women and children, and the American women leave their families behind to go fight for someone else's freedom. And yet they still get spit on. But let's continue.
Where they'd rather be, while some of you letting these politics get in your knocking and push away family. I live in a place where they trying to mine is you one equation subtracting your time and seem like the dumbest people multiplying methods and math in the country divided.
Yeah, that's right. It seems like the dumbest people are multiplying, and that's all by design. Okay, the powers that be, and it's happening a lot more with people on the left. But you know what? Even though they're still trying to push their narrative and their agenda, the reason why, in my opinion, they're letting in so many people because they need that new voter base, because they know that they're losing, and it's not that they're losing the Democratic vote now. They have been losing the Democratic vote, in my opinion, since 2020. A lot of people seen stuff that they didn't like, and they were just like, you know what? Wait a minute, we didn't sign up for this. And as time has gone by, look at the state of affairs that this country has been in, okay, the past year and a half, and it's getting worse and worse. And I believe that the Democratic Party, and we all know, it's not even me believing, it's actually a fact, they're losing many of their constituents. Okay? But when you have a regime that has an agenda to divide people instead of bringing people together, that's what's going to happen. But let's continue.
Want you somewhere between dark and the light, and want to separate the black and the white, and want us to hate up for others dislikes, and whatever happened to all us united, all of the soldiers who...
Exactly, it's supposed to be the United States of America, okay? Meanwhile, you have politicians out there putting America down, but yet it's okay for them to look at, and not even after their own constituents, to look at after people from their own home country, if anybody gets the gist of what I'm saying, okay? They make it seem like, you know what, if you look out for my people, not my people meaning my constituents, no, my people, that's what makes America great. No, it's supposed to be that we look out for all Americans. Even if we don't agree, we can still agree to disagree. That's the way it was always meant to be, basically. But let's continue.
They died from civil war all the way to civil rights, and Buffalo Soldier and Rosa Parks riding.
Oh, check that out. I like this verse right here.
Up for others dislikes, and whatever happened to all us united, all of the soldiers who fought and they died from civil war all the way to civil rights. And
there you go. All the soldiers that fought from the Civil War, all the way, okay, up into present day. You know, it's not like all the wars that have happened since, the founding of this country, that it was just one type of, one race of soldiers and then another war, different race of soldiers. No, ever since the Civil War up until now, okay, it's been black, white, and other. But once again, the powers that be don't want you to see these men and women in arms protecting each other and also trying to do the right thing to protect us and to help free people in other countries. Okay? So people need to start waking up, but let's continue.
Buffalo Soldier and Rosa Parks riding, MLK, Malcolm X, Emmett Till crying.
Look at those names.
On fire, black at you not in the sky with the comments. That is who I am if you combine them, but you can't bind them. Patriot minded.
Motivated by the brake lights. My intention was to help life. Red or blue, but my soul's mine. I ain't perfect, but I do try. Every move I make to watch life. I'm a triple seeing all lights. Time to change it, but I still fight. Good enough, Patriot mind. What is the...
It's true, if you're a real patriot in this country, if you're a real patriot to this country, okay, you need to understand that you need to stand up. Even if you don't agree with somebody, you need to still stand up for their rights. The problem with a lot of so-called patriots from the left, they want to wave the American flag, but they'll spit on everybody else that doesn't agree with them. Okay? Now, some people will say, well, those are people on the right. No, you'll get a few. But the majority of the people on the left who want to wave that American flag, it sickens me to see a lot of people on different social media platforms, okay, where they have the American flag behind them, but yet they're just vilifying and downgrading anybody else that doesn't agree with them. And that's not being a real patriot. Okay? That is not being a real patriot by you putting them down. The way Hillary Clinton said, you know, you could put half the country this way and put the other half in a basket and call them deplorables. Really? But yet this woman, she uses the laws and the safety of the Constitution so she can spew her dirt and go against the people's rights and the Constitution. But let's continue.
Perfect way to word it. When does the good become a burden? I ain't searching, I'm just betting that I'm hurting for the people I've averted, people serving now. Why do I fight for this? Have I lost sight in it? Good men find wise in bad times. Has that good man found purpose in? I don't know. Red and blue stitched on my right shoulder. I'm an American and I show it.
There you go.
I'm not afraid to be all alone. When no one shows up, I always just fall forward. I stand for the weak. Are you a lion or are you a sheep? See, I took an oath to give you my peace. Embracing the fire, defining my reason. I need you to see that I came from a people that work with their hands. The callous is equal, my collar is blue, and I bleed when I...
There you go. You know, and to me, you know, being a real patriot, you know, for this country is number one, standing up for this country first. Okay. With that comes a lot of dedication, a lot of hard work. Okay. And this is not just something that's emboldened, you know, or that people say, oh, it's only, you know, a thing for the white race. No, it goes, you know, for American black people, American Latino people, American Asian people. A lot of different races have come to this country and done it. A lot of their ancestors have come to this country and done it, and have stood proud for this country. And look at the chaos that we're getting now. Okay, forget about the homegrown terrorists. Forget about the homegrown criminals. No, we got people that are born and raised here, and they are being taught to hate the country that they are being born and raised in. Okay, where else on the planet? Okay, maybe there's a spot or two, but where else on the planet are people being born taught to hate the country that they're born and raised in? Okay, not the politicians that are holding them down. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about to hate the country as a whole. Its laws, everything. To not even want to be there, but then they won't leave. But let's continue.
I need you, I'm leading my sequel to become a steeple surrounded by evil, but that is not all. Will you be strong enough when no one calls? When you are broken and nobody knows it?
Exactly. Will you be strong enough when no one else calls? You know, everybody talks about, oh, you know what? We got to help, you know, everybody here. We got to help everybody around the world. And it's like, okay, will you come and help us do that? No, I can't do that. I don't believe in war. I don't believe in hurting another person. It's like, well, you can't have it both ways. Make up your mind. Are you going to be strong enough to do that? Because if you're not going to be strong enough to stand up, then what happens if, you know, somebody or some others do come here and attack? What are you going to stand for then? Are you going to go on their side and coddle them and say, well, you know what, I understand why you're attacking, you're hurting, and we'll try to do better? Or are you going to stand on your feet and protect, you know, your family and friends and your country? You know, I don't have that much hope on the new generation now, to tell you the truth. I really don't. And I hate to say it that way. I hope people start proving me wrong, to say, you know what, no, we're Americans. We're really going to, you know, we're really going to start standing up and, you know, trying to figure this out. But as long as the left has a hold, as long as you have people, you know, their own, like iTunes and Amazon, that are going to stop patriotic people from putting out their music. You know, it's funny how they can run their businesses and make all this money, but yet you can't even support the people that, you know, have lived and died for this country. So they can run their multi-billion-dollar empires. But let's continue.
Can you find the hope inside of your soul? Under God, He knows I'm a sinner, but maybe He made me that way, so I give Him 100% in the fight when I'm in it. See, I do not quit until I am finished. Been given the mindset of a patriot. You can disagree, even hate me when these colors don't bleed set within. I represent my country when I'm motivated by the brake lights. My intention was to help life. Red or blue, but my soul's mine. I ain't perfect, but I do try. Every move I make to watch life. I'm a triple C in all lights. Times are changing, but I still fight. Good enough, patriot mind.
Mama would tell me the stories, running calls, lights flash, and they never bored me. Dad would always just say how it was, fighting for freedom, bombs dropped from above. All golden rule, no silver spoon. Treat them how you would want them to treat you.
There you
Dig
go.
down and work hard
and it's true, you know, sometimes you gotta treat people the way you want them to treat you back. You know, I've seen a lot of horrible stuff coming from the left, you know, ever since the day Donald Trump came down that escalator. And it wasn't supposed to be a time for people to start picking sides. It was supposed to be that so many people were fed up over the 8 years before that we were supposed to unite. Because like I said, Obama did not unite this country. He divided this country from day one. And people on the left wanted to be treated a certain way, but it was like, well, you got to give some to get some, man. You know? And when you have grown-ups teaching their children otherwise, again, like I said, going back to the fact that you're born and raised in this country and you're going to hide behind laws and stuff that, you know, are in both, you know, have been given to us, you know, by the Lord God and, you know, backed up by the Constitution. But yet you're going to go against it at the same time. That's not how it goes. But let's continue.
always pull yourself back up from the strap on your boots. That's how I got where I'm at. Die from the weight to carry family on my back. And I can say it is fact, I'd run into battle if they were under attack. And I do it for you. Pride of my nation means that's what I do. Greater love hath no man is true. If I do die, then bury me in red, white, and blue. There's snakes in the grass, leave them unchecked. How long will we last? Watching your moves to see if you pass. You're fish in the bowl, their face on the glass. Act like a robot, no smiles are fun. While they think they know this job they've not done. Even though they see no human in me, my blood drips red, same blood as they bleed. What makes us American is in the end we're together, no matter how divided or bad the weather.
I like that. What makes us American is that we're together in this till the end. Okay? Till the end. And I bring this up again. You know, all these protests that are going on, all these pro-Palestinian protests that are going on. Listen, I get it. You have, you know, every right to feel the way you do about what's going on in Palestine, the same way the Jews have every right to feel what's going on in Israel. But you know what I don't see? Okay? I don't see nobody waving the American flag. Everybody's protesting. Everybody's attacking each other. Everybody's doing this on American soil. And it's all over what's going on in two countries in the Middle East. Now, I'm not trying to offend anybody at all. Okay? But if you're gonna try to figure your things out on American soil, why are you ripping down American flags? Okay? You want to fight for those freedoms from another country? What you think is your mother or father country, whatever you consider that, then go back over there. But don't be born and raised here and ripped on the American flag thinking that, you know what, this is going against, you know, the president that's in power now. Once again, like I said, that American flag represents the people. Betsy Ross, okay, did not make the first American flag for the American government. She made that flag for the militia and the patriots that banded together, the farmers, the doctors, the teachers, whatever they were out there, they formed together to fight for our freedoms. That flag is for the American people first. It represents our nation. Because governments come and go every 2 to 4 years. Government officials come and go. Okay? But generations of people, the hard workers, again, the farmers, the doctors, the teachers, you name it, generations are formed in that country. That country represents the people. And the people that sacrifice their blood in whichever way, okay, to make that, whatever country it is that you're coming from, great. So when you got the American flag, and it's so funny that they say that the American flag represents racism, then why in the hell are so many people from around the world trying to come into America? But let's continue.
But is this really our purpose? Treading in water with heads above surface. I'm back on the grind, nose to the stone. I know I'll make it although I'm alone. The devil just wants us to fail, but we're making it fine. Fighting to climb, Patriot mind.
There you go. I know this reaction was a little long, but there was a lot to unpack. But first things first, hats off to these three men. Thank you for your service. I'm glad you put this out. I'm glad to my subscriber that they recommended this to me. Again, this is called Patriot Mind by Shafer, the Marine rapper and forensic. I'll leave a link in the description so you can check out the original music video. But there's a lot more to unpack with this. I'd probably have to do like one more video, maybe two, to catch up and break all this down. But it's true what they're saying. These three men in this video, that they were raised a different way, and in my opinion, that's the right way to be raised in America. That regardless if we disagree, we're still American, okay? But to be born and raised in this country, and to be raised and to be brainwashed to hate your fellow man, woman, and child in this country, okay, that's just wrong on so many levels. And then to step it up a notch is that you want to let people into this country and brainwash them to hate Americans even more. I get so upset whenever you watch documentaries and stuff of people going around the world, and people say that, in different countries, that they hate America. It's not that they hate America, that they hate Americans. It's like, why? Because look at what their government does. It's like, yeah, there you go. What their government does. You can't blame that on all the people. But it makes it harder to let them, for them to see and understand when you have people in this country, in this great country, sowing that division among the people, making us look bad. Okay, so I want people to remember that. Okay? And to all you leftists out there, because I've been getting a lot of blowback, and not even blowback, I've been getting a lot of nasty comments as of late. First I say that I'm not a week ago, now all of a sudden I'm getting it, even people cursing me out. It's like, listen, man, this is America. Love it or leave it. If you don't like my content, go kick rocks and keep it moving. If you have a problem, if you think that America sucks, like I've heard a lot of people say, then move. Nobody's stopping you. Okay? You are more than welcome to make American money, save your money, and you can slingshot your ass to some other country on the planet that you think is better than America. But here's the kicker. You won't do that. Why? Because you're cowards. That's why. You're cowards. You won't do it because you know this is the greatest country on the planet. Okay? And we have regular citizens, and we have civil service workers, okay, and military to thank for that. And politicians. Some people in this point in time may say no, but yes, we do. Okay? And leaders and faith leaders. And it goes on and on and on. But nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about, what the different races that came together, okay, to help form and build this country. No, it always has to be one-sided. And it always has to be one race against the other race. No. One race alone did not build this country. Okay? This country has been a melting pot from the beginning. But now this pot is boiling over with the poison, okay, that the powers that be are putting into that pot. But anyway, that's what I got for you. Again, sorry it was long, but hey, that's the way it is. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass it around. Go on their channel, okay, give it a thumbs up. Show them some love, subscribe, help them out whichever way you can. If you want to help support this channel, I'll leave a link in my description to my Cash App and PayPal, and to my merch store, TrueOutlawPatriot.com. Get your patriotic True Outlaw Patriot t-shirts. And remember, people, till then, stay vigilant, keep praying for each other, and keep praying for this country. Peace.